morning, everyone. Welcome back to Ignited Minds. Today, we are going to read about a poem which is a very, very, very famous poem by Robert Frost. And you must have heard it somewhere or the other. Basically, two or three lines from that poem must be known to all of you. If I start with those lines, I would say, "The woods are lovely, dark, and deep. But I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep." So now you know which poem I'm talking about. It is Stooping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. Now let us start paragraph by paragraph and see what this poem is all about. The first stanza says, "Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though." Now, in the starting of the poem, Robert Frost is standing on a place, and around him, he is able to see some woods. Woods here represent a land which is, covered with some trees and houses. A land basically where you have trees and houses. So Robert Frost is basically standing there looking at the trees, looking at the houses. It's a small piece of land and it's very, very dark in the evening and there is no one who's there. So he's just standing there and he's looking at one house which is exactly in front of him. Now when he sees that house, he says, "I think I know this house belongs to whom." He's not sure. He says, "I think I know." Maybe Robert Frost is trying to identify whose house is that. His house is in the village though. And in the second line, he says, "But I believe the person I am thinking, his house is in the village." Now, where is that village? The village is just few kilometers away from that house, from those hills. So in the first two lines, Robert Frost tried to identify that house which he is looking at, and then he realizes that probably he is mistaken. He is not the same person he is thinking of because his house is in the village which is ahead of the hut. "He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow." Now he recalls it and says that probably my friend or the person to whom I'm thinking that it could be his house, he is living in his village. And in village, of course, it's a big community, it's a big forest, it's a big land. So of course he will not come from his house and check if I'm standing here. He would probably not even know that I am standing on his land. He will never be able to know that I am standing on that piece of land. Next stanza. "My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near." Now, here the poet tells the readers that he is not alone. He is with a little horse. He is sitting on a horse. Now, the first line says, "My little horse must think it queer." Queer here means unusual. Now, children, Robert Frost is standing at a place and staring at a house. It is dark in the evening. So, what does the poet say? That probably his house might feel it unusual. The animals would also feel that why is he standing here? Why are we standing here? Why are we staring at something for no reason at all? There is no one here. So the house would feel little uncomfortable and confused that why are we standing here? "To stop without a farmhouse near." Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He says that I am standing in between the frozen lake and that house. I am in the middle of it. So my horse would be wondering, why are we standing here? The last line says the darkest evening of the year. Now, I would like to tell all of you that there is a particular day where you have, the sun farthest away from the sun, from the earth, and it's the longest, it's the darkest night of the year. And that day is particularly 22nd of December. So probably he is somewhere around the 22 to 25 December and he is in the darkest evening. That means there is all darkness all around. But still he is standing there and he is watching at the house. So he says the horse would feel uncomfortable that why are we standing here for no reason. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. Now in the stanza, he means the horse. Now he says the horse moves his harness. You know that animals wear harness usually, and even the humans wear it. Suppose you're climbing, you're doing some adventurous sport, then you always have a harness. Humans also wear harness. Similarly, the horse here is wearing a harness. So what does he do? The harness has a bell attached to it. So he moves his bell to just feel as if something is wrong. It is a gesture of the horse to ask his owner, why are we standing here? Is there some problem? Is there some mistake? The horse is trying to have a conversation with the owner. The only other sound, the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. Now, apart from that bell that is attached with the harness of the horse, the other sound which can be heard is the air, the sound of the air and the wind, and the ice melting down, ice flowing everywhere. So there are only two noises, one of the bell of the harness, and second the wind. There is no other sound to be heard, and it is absolutely dark in the evening. It's too dark. The last stanza, which is the most important, and before explaining it, I would like to tell you that there have been multiple interpretation of this, because Robert Frost has never clarified what did exactly these lines meant. But now when we are studying in this poem in the school, so a common interpretation is, that is what I'm going to tell you. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So, here, what people have found an interpretation to this poem is that the poet is standing there in the wood. He's feeling lovely standing there. Miles to go before I sleep. Sleep here means it's like a metaphor, like he's comparing this statement. It's a phrase which is comparing this sleep with death. So probably the meaning of this line is that the poet has to do a lot before he reaches the death. So probably that house, that hut, that wood, that land he is watching, that land is probably an imagination of his afterlife, that when he will die, he will enter into a land and he will see something so and so. So basically the meaning of this line, and miles to go before I sleep, is a metaphor here which defines that he has to do a lot of work, a lot of promises he has to keep, a lot of commitments he had to follow, a lot of targets he had to achieve before he achieves his death, before he concludes his life. So I hope, children, this short poem by Robert Frost was clear to all of you. If the poem was clear, understood, well, please go like and subscribe my YouTube channel, and make sure to share it with your friends. Keep learning, keep sharing.